Hello everyone and welcome to a Rumble video. This time it's the new year, perfect opportunity for a Rumble. We got a lot of things to talk about like New Year resolutions and I figured why not, let's make a Rumble from time to time. Also, I got a new mic stand for Christmas, actually not a new mic stand. Previously it was standing just in front of my PC and every time I wanted to record I just moved it in front of my face and it was covering half the screen. So I hope it sounds better now. Let me know if the quality is different compared to my previous videos, but oh my god, it's such a quality of life just moving it from the side to the front of my face. It's not covering any screen. Anyways, it's amazing. So yeah, I wanted to talk about my New Year's resolutions when it comes to RuneScape and maybe a little bit of IRL at the end. I've been doing RuneScape New Year's resolutions for a few years now, and I found a format that actually works and helps me stick with them. And what I do is I tweet them and I pin the tweet in my profile. So every time I view my profile for whatever reason on Twitter, I see the pinned tweet and it reminds me to go do something or go work on something that I wanted to work on this year. I try to keep them RuneScape or gaming related on my Twitter because don't really feel like sharing too much their IRL because I just don't think people will be interested. But I will share here because it's my channel and it's a little bit of a diary for me for the future where I was standing, what I was trying to do. But let's start with the important stuff, and that is RuneScape. So for my main UIM pre-searing this year, the overarching goal is 1 billion GP to fund 200 mil fletching. Now, I don't believe I will be able to get 1 bill GP this year. Hopefully I will get close, but probably won't get started with fletching before 2025, but that's okay, because I want to get that 1 bill while also chasing collection log slots. There are many bosses, many mini games that give a lot of GP, so I think it's just a good thing to do to try to take advantage of already doing stuff that generates GP to get some collection logs. And why fletching? Well, I don't know why, but for some reason I have found a special affinity for fletching. I really enjoy the fact that you can mix and match it with many different methods, and to me it improves many methods. It changed methods like Herbivore, for example. It's one of my favorite skilling methods now just because you can combine it with fletching and it feels like you're always doing something. And it started when I was playing on a hardcore. My first members account was a hardcore Ironman that I got quite far on. Not comparable to how far I am on the UIM now, but quite far when it comes to the first members account. And I was looking at hardcore high scores, looking for a skill that didn't have many people close to 200 mil on, so that I could, get some easy ranks and inflate my ego a little bit. And I found fletching, and many people were sleeping on fletching. There was one guy, I think, who was doing fletching, but generally it was a forgotten skill for hardcores. And back then I didn't really understand why. Now I know that, there's really no point in rushing fletching because you just need so much gold that you will get it later, and that's the natural course of things, similarly to rushing post-max XP in construction, let's say. But it awoke a certain interest of fletching in me, and I really started enjoying the skill. And I started enjoying it even more when I noticed that the high-level community doesn't seem to like it all that much. And I've been racking my brain, why is it that I like fletching so much and HLC doesn't, and everyone doesn't like fletching? And I think it's because when you're trying to go for stuff like 200 mil all or post-max XP, fletching is a chore. It's something you have to slot into many activities. It's something where maybe you would otherwise do more recline methods or make those methods that you're doing more recline, but now you have to fletch. It's constantly something, like at Sepulcher, for example, the aforementioned herbivores. And I feel the fact that it gives 0 EHP because you can slot it into everything and it actually takes 0 time. makes people who go for 200 mil all to view it as a chore, but I, since I'm not going for 200 mil all, I view it as pure pleasure and a fantastic accomplishment if I ever get post-max fletching XP, so that is where the goal came from, and that is why I'm currently trying to just rush gold on my account. I started having doubts a little bit. I knew that I want to do it, but I started questioning myself when at the start of the new year or at the very end of December, many people were sharing their banks. You know, it's a lot of bank videos, bug pictures in the UIM Discord. Similarly, I made mine bug video, and it feels like my account is very different from what everyone's going for, and I'm not trying to paint myself like this kind of a woo snowflake, but everyone's doing these bosses and focusing on doing raids and getting all of that great gear, and I would like to do that too, but I just have no interest at all in grinding raids, and it feels like it's such a big endeavor that if I were to get best in slot gear or get raids gear just to do the content I want to do with as good of a gear as I can, then I would spend all of that time chasing that gear and not actually doing what I'm enjoying. So for now, I am just chasing goals that I feel like doing, and honestly, it made the game a lot of fun, so I don't think I will stop. I would like to try the raids at some point, but probably not commit to, like, getting a T-bow or something, although that is one of my dream items. You know, can't decide. Anyways, that's it for the main UIM, chasing 1 billion GP while also trying to get some collection log slots. And now for my free-to-play UIM, the second account that I play, I'm continuing ranging from last year. I spent the entire pretty much last year just ranging ogresses and moss giants and a little bit of fleshies. And the goal now is to get 150,000 nature runes. That's a rough estimate of how many I will need for 99 smithing, assuming I will get Bryophyra's staff, and assuming I will get 99 crafting with silver tiaras first, because silver tiaras make you smelt silver bars, and that is a fair bit of passive smithing experience. And that's why it's hard to measure how many nature runes I will exactly need, because the more time I spend at ogresses gathering the nature runes, the more gems I keep getting, which are 0-time crafting experience. And the more 0-time crafting experience that I get, the less tiaras I will have to make. So it's a tough to balance, but I think 150,000 nuts, it's both a nice round number, and if I get there and I calculate that I need more, I'll just get more. It shouldn't be too far from there. If I finish this year, which honestly might be, if it happens, might be late December or probably even next year, then I will be over 100 million ranging XP, hopefully closest to 120 mil, and at that point, it would feel really bad to stop and not get 200 mil, but on the other hand, it's still so far away from 200 mil range. One thing that motivates me a lot is completing 200 mil range will fund me 200 mil magic. There is one player, Sent, 5ent, who did that as a free-to-play UIM, and that is a fantastic build in my opinion. Then he moved on to AFKing Flashes for the rest of his life, so that is maybe not what I want to do, but 200 mil magic does sound like a fantastic goal, and getting 200 mil ranged on Ogress is pretty much required for that, unless you want to splash, because if you're splashing, then my rough calculation shows me that 1 magic XP costs 1 GP. So still, you would need 200 million coins for that, and I have 50 mil with 75 mil ranged XP, so yeah. So we will see. For now, I'd like to look just 1 year into the future and focus on the 150,000 nature runes. Maybe then I'll get 99 smithing and see if I want to come back to ranging. But that is not the last account that I'm playing. I have one more. I have a hardcore Iron Man, a baby hardcore. And it's my third account, and just because it's the third, I put it on my screen. It's hard to explain, but on my screen I have 2 accounts that fit, and then on the rest of my screen I have a browser to watch videos or another game, or I have the third account. So just by the virtue of that, I play it a lot less than the main 2. I can AFK my main 2 accounts at work, and adding a third one will just... that's just too much resetting accounts, and I am not able to work efficiently while doing that. And if I want to chill after work, watch a video, or play some Guild Wars or another game, then I just physically don't have space on my monitor for a third account, even if I was to AFK a lot. And if it wasn't a hardcore, I probably could AFK some combats on it, but since it is, I just really don't want to do it. Plus, AFKing combats just sucks because I get it the same XP while doing Slayer, so... the goal on that account is 1,900 total, which doesn't sound like too much, but then again, the goal for 2023 was 1,800, and I didn't get it because I just didn't play it enough, so we will see if I can do that, and hopefully I will not die, because I am addicted to the hardcore mode just through the sole fact of having an alive hardcore in the back of my head. The fact that I have an alive hardcore and just makes me feel good, so I need to have a hardcore, and the goal is 1,900 total. But RuneScape is not the only game that I play. I also play Guild Wars. You might have seen the videos on my channel, and this year actually will be a very, very special year, because if everything goes well, I will achieve the Legendary Survivor title. Also, all math shows that at the end of the year that will happen, so exciting end of the year, hopefully. And it took me 4 years to get to this point. I just have about 1 more year of grinding and then we'll get it. If you don't know, the Legendary Survivor title requires me to get 1,337,000 experience without dying. And in Pre-Searing, which is the starter area of Guild Wars, Prophecies campaign, I get 1,000 experience a day doing daily quests. So that's easy math. I have about 350,000 XP to go, so 1,000 XP a day, assuming I miss no or very little days, gives me the title by the end of the year. Hopefully I won't die. I already died on this account and it was heartbreaking. It actually happened because I live with my fiancée and her mom, and we were complaining about the internet quality for a little bit, so she decided to upgrade the internet, and she did that by stopping payments with our current internet provider, and she didn't tell us. So one day, exactly at midnight, I was doing a quest escorting Footman Tate, if you're curious, in Pre-Searing, and the last pack of char that was left, I was fighting them, midnight struck, and they cut our internet. She didn't tell us she's doing that, and I just thought like it's another short lag like we had many before, so I hesitated. If I closed my client right then, maybe I would have still been alive, but when I logged back in, I was dead with 350,000 experience down the drain. So that's like it's not 1 year, because when you're leveling for the first time, you get a lot more experience, up to 140,000. So it was like 2/3 of a year plus the leveling process without dying. But it was so heartbreaking because I just really wanted to restart, because without restart, if I restarted, I can get 140,000 XP in a week leveling with the higher XP rates. But if I want to continue playing this character and reset my XP streak back to 0, I will have to rely on those 1,000 XP drops every day. So essentially, in getting back that 140k will either take me a week if I make a new character, or like 3+ months if I continue on this one. But I really grew attached to this one, so I decided to grit my teeth and I got the experience back, and I'm now approaching 1 million XP without deaths, so fingers crossed that I won't die, because that would be a hell of a gut punch if that happened, and I would have to grind for 4 more years. You can get more XP in a day by doing certain farms. The most well-known is Bandits at Farmer Hamnet Quest, but it's extremely boring. It liquefies my brain, and even surviving RuneScape level grinds, it's too much for me. Plus the XP is terrible. So when I'm approaching, and you also need to focus so you don't die because you're fighting higher level monsters there, that have both a knockdown and a healing reduction effect, so it can get a little hot, but it's not that dangerous. So yeah, if I get closer to the title, I might do some bandits, but until then, I would like to keep my sanity intact, so I will definitely just stick to my daily quest a day. So that is pre-searing. What else? I think we can move to IRL. I have some IRL goals that I'd rather not discuss here, but since I'd like to keep them to quantifiable, achievable goals. So for example, I am learning Korean right now, and I don't really want to talk about it because it's hard to quantify how much I can study a day. I try to study every day or every 2 days, and it's hard to fit into the schedules, especially since sometimes it would be a choice between studying or playing games, and I'm choosing games every time, man. So the only quantifiable thing that I would like to do this year when it comes to IRL, I would like to stop being a little bitch, and I would like to go and donate blood. I don't have any rare blood groups, but I always was admiring people who donated blood, and I always wanted to do that. And one time I went, I lost consciousness, and that kind of turned me away from doing it, and I would like to try again. I would like to go back and donate some blood, and I think it's amazing. Everyone who does that, it's very selfless, and I inspire to that. So that is my one quantifiable IRL goal. Maybe at the end of the year I can watch this video, and hopefully I can proudly say that I did it, or I will have an oh shit moment, and I will go then and see if I can do that. So yeah, I think that's it when it comes to the New Year's resolutions. I would also like to know if you have any. I know many people do set New Year's resolutions and then they kind of fizzle out. I was the same for many, many years of my life, but as I said, I found a method that sticks. And if you have any that you're willing to share, please do share them in the comments, especially those RuneScape ones, since I think everyone can read and share and understand what you're grinding right now. And if not RuneScape, then maybe other games or some IRL ones. I think it's always very inspiring, and maybe just maybe you'll share a resolution that will inspire someone to follow in your footsteps. Alright, I think that's been a pretty good ramble. I have a tendency to stutter a lot, and I think this time that didn't happen, and I'm really happy. That is one more thing that I'm proud of myself. We're running at about 19 minutes, so I will leave you here. Make sure to share your New Year's resolutions, and if you don't have any, just share what you're working on right now, be it in RuneScape or IRL. Alright, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.